Here I am again, running out of money with no real job opportunities lining up. It's had me feeling a bit like a piece of driftwood, just floating out in the ocean. It's times like these when I start to wonder, is it time? Do I finally settle down and get a real job? In this pursuit of happiness, I've somehow managed to always make things work, making just enough to get me to the next thing that will nourish my soul. Sometimes in these moments when I start to feel like the world is slipping out from underneath me, fear starts to creep in, that I might be left washed up, high and dry, left behind by the tide. But when I find myself thinking like this, there's always one thing that stands out. Time is precious. It's all we have. And how we choose to spend it is what gives our lives value. And so, I always come back around to feeling like no amount of money could ever replace the wealth that comes with time well spent. And it's just not worth sacrificing the things that feed my soul in order to fill my pockets. In the meantime, I'm going to take my advice from the ocean. Ride the waves, find joy in the little things, and trust it's all going to be okay. Just as sure as the tide will return, things will work out in the end. They always do. So, for my birthday, I decided to treat myself in a way I haven't in a very long time. I met a man who was selling this beautiful surfboard that he had made for himself entirely out of redwood, and he was asking next to nothing for it, so naturally I couldn't resist. Over in southern Oregon, the summer heat had arrived, fire season was picking up, and because I didn't have any work opportunities, I decided it'd be better to beat the heat and be a bum on the beach rather than wallow in a puddle of my own sweat. For those of you who aren't familiar, the Pacific Northwest can get ripping hot in the summer, but the coast luckily stays nice and cool. And honestly, I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to the heat, so it was off to the coast to get this girl on her maiden voyage. Typically, I've only ever ridden shortboards, and this one is more of a mid-length, though to me it feels quite long. So we'll see how she rides. The camera panning over actually happened because Honeywolf bumped the phone, which for this shot worked out perfectly, but I was planning to ride the rights, and so a lot of the rides actually weren't in the frame. I don't know if words could ever fully describe the feeling that I get when I paddle out. In a way, it feels like coming home, back to the womb of the earth, the source of all life. The new board took some getting used to, and honestly was a little bit awkward at first, but by the end of the session, I was getting the hang of it. We got word from a friend that the waves were looking pretty good, not too much further up the coast. And so we hit the road, hoping to find some better surf. We ended up scoring some pretty fun rides. Communing with the ocean in this way brings me to such a deep place of reverence. And I can't help but be grateful, even just for the simple fact that I'm alive. And though times may be hard, I get to be here to experience them. And I get to choose to do the things that I love in this life. That's it for our time on the coast. If you like what you see, please subscribe and we'll see you on the next one.